Well, I just hit the record button. Let me pour myself a nice cup o' tea. Oh, can you hear that? Nice hot tea being poured. Actually, I don't know if you can hear. I can only test the audio pre-show when I do a pre-record like this. And apologies once again as you gaze upon those big ass titties for doing another pre-record. But I have to head out of town shortly after this. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna. I toyed with the idea of just doing a live stream from the hotel, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get out there in time. So I said, you know what? Let's be on the safe side. Let's do the pre-record. We're gonna have a bunch of pre-records. Busy fucking season. I got Comic-Con coming up, Exotica coming up, and a couple big like family events too. So there will be pre-records. Which I apologize to my friends in the comments section that I have to do this, but I'm sure you'll be, I still release it as kind of a live premiere, so you guys can fuck around there and chat with each other and shit all over Hager or whatever it is you do. And I will look forward. Hopefully, I'm hoping that next weekend is we're back to a live Friday night. I think I should be able to. Although the gym I work for has a tendency to fucking sprout events out of nowhere, so I can never never guarantee. In any case, look at the big tits. Let that be your reminder. We have them up here. We take this time to kind of set our intention for the day, for the show that we're going to do, and because every show everyone does it. You plug the social media. You say. You can follow me at Mike Montone on Twitter, at Gary_Moyler, Moyler on Instagram. I'm being masked by the Sacktap Live emblem. I just realized that. Facebook.com/The Savage Crew. YouTube, Sacktap Live is the show. You can follow that straight to my page, Mike Montone. So I got to get the vanity URL going. I've been lazy on that. I've been a lazy boy. Audio version. The Savage Sacktap. It's released as a podcast, usually up within a day or two of the live stream. I try to get it up right after, but like today, I won't be able to. What else? But yeah, the Savage Sacktap available wherever podcasts are downloaded. And tell your friends that, while you sit through that whole preamble, you get to look at a just gorgeous, heaving set of bosoms. We've thrown not only tits up there. It started as big tits. We've done butt cheeks. We've done. I don't know if we've done a nice like pussy bump, like a pubic mound. But we appreciate and enjoy the female body before we have some fun doing the live stream. So that's that. Let's get to it. Well, the recorded live stream, the not live stream. In any case. Be careful what you stroke it to. It could make you a viral sensation and the laughing stock of the league, or worse, you might lose your gig as a weatherman. Better get Ron Desantis on the phone. We need some cheap labor to clean up the mess we're about to make on our keyboards and on the screen. It's a fresh episode of the Savage Sacktap, and it starts right now.
You're listening to the Savage Sacktap. It's not a podcast, it's not a half-cast, it's just a quick shot to the balls to help you finish off the week. We're cutting through the bullshit, filling your Friday with rage-fueled logic, and cracking a few jokes along the way. So grab a bag of frozen peas. There's a Savage Sacktap coming your way.
Smooth, lascivious, salacious, outrageous.
Unfortunately for you folks, the big titties do have to go away because we're going to need that screen space to do some things here during the show. They will be back. We start the show with them. We end the show with them. You guys know the deal. Good to have you here. I am Mike Montone. This is the Savage Sacktap, or Sacktap Live if you're joining us on YouTube. A tip, oh my cap, to the comments section. Sorry I could not be here live with you again tonight. I really am starting to feel like an absentee father. You're all going to start banging the mailman. So I'm about just over 2 weeks post-op, as it were. You got to say post-op so that you sound like a lady boy. The swelling in the lid has been going down kind of incrementally. It's still a little bruised. I think it bruises up a little bit during the day. Like if I go out and I'm active, I just started working out again. Fucking Wednesday was my first workout back. Just doing body weight stuff and like light tempo. So doing like 4 count on the way down for every movement, and really just trying to be under control and not like shake things around and stuff. But it definitely every time I go out and do something, you come back with a little bit of bruising and a little bit of swelling. So it's like you take one step forward, then it's like a half a step back. So it's a very slow process. I didn't realize that going in. I thought like you just fucking did it, and then like 3 days later, fucking done. But here we are. In any case, what I'm really curious to see is that they say that um, the lid on the left side is supposed to like relax a little bit, which I understand the human body, like I understand how that works, but it's still so fucking fascinating to me that like it'll just be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, chilling out. That's so fucking interesting to me. The human body is so fucking interesting. I was thinking this morning, and I wanted to share this with you. I woke up with a piping fucking erection this morning, and then I proceeded to get another one while I was having my morning coffee, it's actually happened a couple times this week. And I was just thinking like I'm fucking 37, but since cutting back on like partying, like going out, fucking drinking 3 nights a weekend, like which was, by the way, all a lot of fun, and provides you with many opportunities to use your erection. Um, you stop drinking heavily and casually doing cocaine, and your dick becomes just spry as a motherfucker, like just a turgid, veiny motherfucker. Like especially at low body fat. Like if you're lean, if there is no better reason to just get your shit together, get into fitness, and be careful about what you put into your body. It's to get fucking massive raging erections. So I wanted to share that with you before we got going. Sorry, I smoked some gangster ass shit this morning. Or just now. Well, I mean, it is no, we've crested noon. How about that? I smoked some gangster ass shit this afternoon. I'm a little spacey today. Before we move on, I do have some news stories for us. I do, however, want to blow off steam about a local annoyance. And if you don't live in the kind of fucking the Northeast, this will be meaningless to you. But the Merritt Parkway in Connecticut fucking blows. Driving through Connecticut in general fucking blows. Absolute nothing state. Just a completely useless state. Fucking horrible. Like if the Russians invade and they land in Connecticut and that's the ground they seize, they're just gonna look around and leave. It's just a useless state. But I had to go up there many times in my life. I had to go. My brother and sister went to college there. I have a lot of friends who live in Boston, so I drive through Connecticut a lot. I had to go up last Sunday for my godson's brother's christening, and it was an absolutely lovely afternoon. Delicious barbecue, a perfectly catered event. Good beer, the mounted TV outside with very comfortable patio seating, so you can sit out there. We were smoking cigars and watching NFL Red Zone. eating delicious food. Great fucking day. Great weather, like perfect weather, not humid, but like 80 degrees or so. Amazing day. The drive to and from could not have been more fucking miserable. You have two options driving through Connecticut. You can take the Merritt, which they have signs on the Merritt enforcing a minimum speed limit because people in Connecticut drive like fucking pussies. And the Merritt's only like 2 lanes wide, but it's a highway. Like, it's very heavily trafficked. So the idea is you're supposed to be fucking moving. It's just the scenic route. So you have fucking trees. But these, for whatever reason it is, because Connecticut is just such a dull, white bread, limp dick state, people up there drive like complete fucking pussies. The other option is to take I-95, which is just a fucking disaster because it's packed with people from all over New England, like people from Massachusetts, people from Rhode Island, Maine. These people are fucking lunatics. These people are maniacs. They're usually like hopped up they're on fucking oxy, booze, amphetamines. Like, it's just a cocktail of all of the kind of loser substances. And they're out there zipping up and down I-95 and causing all sorts of accidents. So it's like 4 lanes wide, but it's always fucking backed up because there's always a fucking accident or some shit. It's just a lose-lose. You're either driving with pussies on the scenic route or you're driving with homicidal maniacs on the fucking on the interstate. So I had to for whatever reason, Google Maps directed me to the Merritt. So I take that, and the amount of fucking fender benders that I almost got into driving on this thing, these fucking dumbasses don't know how to merge. So, like, if there's a car coming on the fucking on-ramp and someone's in the right lane and they see them coming, they'll fucking stop and let the person get off the ramp and get onto the fucking highway with people going 65 miles per hour behind them. It's inexplicable. I don't know. If anyone from Connecticut is watching this, please explain this fucking behavior to me. Leave a comment. I will respond. I'm not there for the live comments right now, but throw a fucking comment under the post, and I would love to hear why this happens. It's incredible. New England is just a wild, beautiful place, scenic, bucolic, but just one of those. New England, very weird in that it has some really cool stuff, and then all of a sudden it really dips off. It really dips off. And Dunkin' Donuts sucks, by the way. I know you can't get a cup of decent fucking coffee up there. It's just Dunkin' Donuts everywhere because they like it for whatever reason. It's this weird fucking New England thing. It blows. So Starbucks, not wonderful either. Like, I don't give Starbucks any kind of oversized crowd. I like their Christmas blend is okay. But otherwise, at least the thing about Starbucks is that they feign the experience of drinking decent coffee. You can kind of trick yourself. That's what it is when you get Starbucks. You're just tricking yourself into thinking you're having good coffee. It's like the difference between Starbucks and Dunkin' is like the difference between getting steak at Outback versus Arby's. You can at least, neither one of them is particularly good, but you can at least make a slim argument in favor of the one. I will say the donuts at Dunkin', the coffee rolls, those are a treat. I love them if they're hot and like fresh made. If you drink their coffee, you're a fucking asshole. If you get it, if someone brings a carton of it at like, like a corporate function and you're using it to dunk a donut, fine. But if you're drinking your fucking coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, I really think you're a fucking idiot. You don't know how to. You are irresponsibly spending your consumer dollar. Maybe maybe if it was a piping hot day and you were in Shamokin, Pennsylvania, then maybe I would understand if you went to Dunkin' for a cold coffee. But otherwise, just it's mind-boggling how stupid. I think it's, if you removed Massachusetts, which Massachusetts and Connecticut have this sort of, there's this weird pretense about them, like they think there's a lot of Ivy League schools there. But if you peel away the Ivy League areas, they're actually kind of shitholes. And then you get to the rest of New England, which is really, it's the inversion of the deeps. It's a cold version of the Deep South. It is just a redneck, like racist cousin fucking wilderness up there. But yeah, I just wanted to unburden myself. I'm sorry. There was a bit of a deviation, but I wanted to unburden myself from the frustration I was feeling after my trip to to New England. Speaking of New England, what do you say we venture out to Martha's Vineyard? Can I take you there? Maybe. Just a moment. If I was smart, I would have preloaded these tabs like I usually do. There's beautiful Martha's Vineyard. And now you can see her. Gorgeous. GOP governors Ron Desantis, Greg Abbott send migrants to Martha's Vineyard and vice president's residence. This is one of my favorite troll moves of all time. Republican governors this week escalated their efforts to transport migrants released from federal border custody to Democrat-led jurisdictions, sending groups of Latin American asylum seekers to Martha's Vineyard and a busy street near Vice President Kamala Harris's residence in Washington, D.C. On Wednesday, Florida Governor Ron Desantis, a Republican, took credit for flying roughly 50 Venezuelan migrants to Martha's Vineyard, an island off the Massachusetts coast, without alerting local officials. On Thursday morning, Texas Governor Greg Abbott boasted about busing another group of migrants to a street near the Naval Observatory, which houses the vice president's official residence. The state actions this week are part of a broader campaign by 3 Republican governors to rebuke the Biden administration's border strategy, the transportation of thousands of migrants to the communities that have adopted so-called sanctuary policies, which limit cooperation with federal immigration authorities. Absolutely brilliant. They're not a political show. I'm not really into talking politics. I lost interest in talking politics a couple months after Trump got elected, because that election had been so fucking exhausting. And then people wouldn't fucking let up. And after a while, it was like, all right, enough. But I do find, I love a good troll, and this is an absolutely brilliant troll. Like, if you're a border state and you have all of these northern states that are hundreds of miles away from the border, and they're talking a big game, they're sanctuary cities, yeah, open up immigration, bring them in. Of course you're going to be like, hey, fuck you. Like, we're the ones down here dealing with it. You wanted them. You said sanctuary, right? So hilarious. As of Friday, Texas and Arizona had at least 295 buses with approximately 13,000 migrants to D.C., New York, and Chicago, all cities with Democratic mayors, according to statistics provided by state representatives. Most of the buses have been commissioned by Texas, which started its transportation effort to D.C. this spring before expanding it to include New York and Chicago. As of earlier this month, Texas had paid over $12 million to finance the migrant busing operation, according to the state's Division of Emergency Management. But officials in Martha's Vineyard found themselves scrambling on Wednesday to find shelter, food, and other accommodations for the several dozen migrants, including children, who arrived at the island's small airport. 2 churches were converted to makeshift shelters, according to local officials, who implored federal and state authorities for assistance. Unlike major urban centers, Martha's Vineyard does not have an immigration court where migrants can attend their asylum hearings, or an immigration office where they can check in to demonstrate their compliance with the terms of their release. They are fucking pissed. The fact that some spokeswoman says, the fact that Fox News and not the Department of Homeland Security, the city, or local NGOs were alerted about a plan to leave migrants, including children, on the side of a busy D.C. street makes clear that this is just a cruel, premeditated political stunt. I mean, yeah, I guess that's the point, right? This is objectively an incredibly vindictive kind of fuck you move that uses human beings as pawns in a political dick swinging match. That's definitely true. But I still don't think it's totally unreasonable, right? Like, it's not like how if cities that are completely on the other side of the country from the border are saying, yeah, we're sanctuary cities. It's fine if you jump the border and come here, we will welcome you with open arms. So if they're making that invitation, and those migrants, the first place they're going to be in when they cross the border is like Texas or Florida or whatever. So those fucking mayors can put a burden on an entire fucking state. That doesn't seem entirely fair. They're not those voters, those people that are living there, may have never said, hey, yeah, we would like this new population coming directly into our state en masse, and like it's only going to be here that they'll live. Like it's a little ridiculous. So yeah, I don't see anything that wrong with shipping these people up to New York or New England or DC. Like if a bunch of Liz Warren tit suckers in Massachusetts want to talk big shit about how much they love immigrants and they welcome them with open arms and diversity is our biggest strength and all of that, which is all well and good if that's your opinion, then let's see it. Let's do it. Here's your chance. This has been your kind of thing that you've been shouting about. So let's do it. Congratulations. You got what you wanted, and now you can kind of fulfill your mission to be the white savior, because that's what it's all about, right? That is what they want. It really is. Like Hollywood, like all those fucking white savior movies. It's just so reflective of what they lust after. It's quite sickening. And I feel like if you're one of the persons that they're pandering to, a little bit insulting, right? To be treated like that's ultimately subhuman treatment is these fucking lib cucks with white savior complexes. Like it's such soft fuck you bigotry. So yeah, I love seeing these people get it just shoved up their fucking asses. This spokesperson, Jean-Pierre, also said migrants flown to Martha's Vineyard were misled about their destination and the services they would find there. Some migrants flown to the island told several news outlets that they were told they would be taken to a different destination where they would be provided certain benefits and services. I don't understand the argument here. Like they traveled to the U.S. from fucking Venezuela. Like they braved the cartels and they were human trafficked. Like that is, I think we always think of human trafficking in terms of sex slavery, but if you're being led by what do they call the coyotes up through the jungle and the desert and the river crossings. They are humans who are trafficking you for a fee. Like these are people who are just human trafficked from Venezuela through fucking Central America and Mexico. Like, do you think the fucking vineyard's a problem? And as opposed to what, El Paso? Like, if you had the choice, are the lib cucks telling me that these people would be better off in like Laredo, Texas? Like they're in Martha's Vineyard. Look at this fucking picture. Look at this. Look at that fucking house. That is beautiful. That looks very much like Long Beach Island where my parents live. I know what these places are like. It's fucking paradise. It's even in like the winter when it's cold, it's just peaceful and serene and beautiful. You could, if you were literally, imagine the polar opposite of Venezuela. This is where you would want to be dropped off. This is by every measurable standard. DeSantis did them a huge favor by sending them to the vineyard. I mean, it's luxury, it's leisure, it's beautiful. The air is fresh, the ocean is right there. So it seems to me that the wealthy liberal residents of the vineyard should open their hearts, their homes, and their wallets, as they have asked Texans and Floridians to do, and allow these new proud Americans to assimilate and bring their culture to Martha's Vineyard. I'm sure they'd be thrilled to have that. And it's what's great is that Martha's Vineyard kind of empties out a little bit in the off season after the summer, so there's plenty of open housing. No one's using these beautiful homes you see here on the screen. No one's going to be using those until next Memorial Day. That's plenty of time to give these migrants a place to stay, and they can get on their feet, and they can get jobs in the community, and they can become part of the fabric of Martha's Vineyard. That's what you guys wanted, right? Let's do it. What a perfect time, by the way. I mean, if you're a Venezuelan, perfect time to come up here, because if they're dropping you off on the vineyard, I know Tim Dillon did an amazing job arguing that it was abusive to drop them off on the vineyard after Labor Day because the season's over. It was very funny, but I disagree. It's autumn in New England. There's foliage. You can put on a nice thick wool sweater and one of those oversized hats. There's apple picking, pumpkin picking. The air is crisp and clean. Who the fuck wants to live on the Texas-Mexico border when you can experience this bucolic, one of the jewels of New England? We were talking before about how there are large swaths of New England that are basically just wastelands, just rolling hills filled with small, useless cities and people who aren't very interesting. And then you go farther north, and they're basically, again, just a bunch of fucking substance abusing cousin fuckers. But, I think there is something to be said about sort of the coast after the summer. Watching beautiful sunrises on the beach, drinking a hot mug of coffee. Take that over Laredo, Texas, I think. That's just me. Anyway. Enough politics. We've got masturbating to discuss. Let me find the next one. I don't usually pay too much attention to the NBA, but when it's hilarious, I certainly do. Is this There it is. Doc Rivers. Oh boy. Doc Rivers. Philadelphia 76ers say Doc Rivers' Twitter account was hacked following not safe for work likes. Doc Rivers was trending on Twitter this weekend after fans noticed the Philadelphia 76ers head coach had liked several tweets featuring adult content. According to John Clark of NBC Sports Philadelphia, Rivers' account was reportedly hacked. The Sixers organization has been able to undo some of the controversial likes. I'm told Doc Rivers' Twitter account was hacked and the Sixers were able to undo. Wow, they really just repeated the fucking... Doc was informed by a friend about the bizarre activity on his account that is being taken care of by the team. Paul Hudrick, an editor for SB Nation's Sixers blog, confirmed Clark's remarks while revealing that the team was working overnight to address it. Confirmed through a source that Doc Rivers' Twitter account was compromised and the team was working overnight to address it, Hudrick wrote. Confirmed through... Yeah, compromised. All of the content that has since been unliked, and Rivers has full access to his account again. He had it is first of all, fucking his account wasn't compromised. He liked Paul. He was jerking off to Twitter. But it is quite telling about the day and age that we are in that the article made no mention of the fact that it was tranny porn that Doc was apparently enjoying. T.S. Olivia Jade coming to a city near you. Hashtag shemale. Hashtag tranny dom. Oh. He also, to his credit, has fat ass white girls throwing it back, but it is hashtag throat goat. Yeah, I mean, it should be mentioned in the article. I know people would. I guess it's now considered transphobic to find it hilarious that Doc Rivers was on Twitter jacking it to chicks with dicks. But I mean, that's what happens, right? If you're a journalist, you can't bury the lead. And that is the salacious part. Like, the thing about this that's making everyone giggle is the idea that the guy you see in the suit shouting at these gargantuan athletes on the court is then going home and like edging himself numb to tranny porn on Twitter. Like, that is objectively worth a chuckle. And that would be the case if it was any kind of like offbeat pornography. It was BBWs, if it was grannies, if it was pissing, if anything that's kind of fetishy. It's not even, I don't think, meant to be transphobic, right? And we're saying, obviously, we're using the phrase tranny. The artist that Doc Rivers was so enamored with also uses the phrase tranny, right? We're not talking about a teenager here who's struggling with their gender identity. We're talking about a performer who makes her living based on the fact that she's a chick with a dick. And so this isn't to shame Doc Rivers. If that's what he's into, that's what he's into. She's got how many followers does she have? Olivia Jade. It doesn't. We see his, but 43K. Olivia Jade, 43K. She's got 43,000 followers. Popular gal. So this isn't about shaming Doc Rivers. It's just kind of about how I think we react differently to different types of smut, right? Was it President Obama who was trending for following Sarah J? If you remember, I believe that happened. Was it like, I think it was around the beginning of the lockdown, maybe? Or like it was at some point during the lockdown, and everyone was very excited, right? Sarah J she got big titties, she's got a big fat ass. I know she does draw some criticism for a variety of reasons. There are those who are not not huge fans of hers, not for everybody, but still you cannot deny her legendary status, right? I personally have jacked it to a number of Sarah J videos. So for Obama, the fact that he was following Sarah J on Twitter was sort of a confirmation that he was kind of like, he's the cool English teacher. Like, he's one of us, right? Obama likes to tug his prick to a video that features, you know, a nice big fat ass clapping up and down, and one that you've probably jacked it to the same thing as Barry O. We're gonna tug our pricks to Sarah J. Okay. She's got a big fat ass. Like it. Open change. I don't know. I don't know how to do Obama. I gotta get an Obama mug up here. I need Obama. I gotta get Biden. I'm just gonna make this the Hall of Presidents. Most excellent. But with Doc Rivers, it feels like he got caught and then was like, oh, no, it's not what happened. It was hacked. It was hacked. And I love the bloggers just like, oh yeah, I can confirm what they told us. He told us it was hacked. He actually wasn't jacking off to tranny porn. Which, look, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't jerk off to what you want to fucking jerk off to. Like, everyone's just got their thing. Like, I enjoy eating a woman's ass. I think that's an absolute fucking hoot. There are a lot of people who are disgusted by that. Fine. But the point is, you don't need to follow it on Twitter. If you're into something that you're worried is going to get out, don't engage with it on Twitter, right? Don't like it on Twitter. You can find it all over the internet. Go anywhere other than Twitter. Don't jerk off while you're using a mouthpiece that reaches the entire world. Unless, I guess there's always the possibility that, like, and I don't think this is what happened, but it is within the realm of possibility that if he was, like, logged into a premium site, a pay site, using an email address that's connected to his Twitter, I could see how you could, like, accidentally like or retweet something there. I don't believe that that's what happened. I think he was scrolling Twitter while horned up. I think he's got a trans girl fetish, and I think he accidentally liked. You know, I think that seems to be the most plausible, right? What would really suck is if he wasn't even boned up at the time. Like, if he just regularly, like, kind of takes a look at that kind of stuff, and it popped up, you know, in the algorithm just fed it to him. And at the time he was just scrolling for dank memes, but some you know, ladyboy porn fucking showed up on his screen, and he grazed the like button, and now everyone knows what his kink is. Unfortunate. But it's out there now. It's out there now. And I think the message to Doc Rivers doesn't have to be, don't tell people that you are hacked. Just fucking get out there, jerk off, live your best life. To Doc Rivers. Best of luck to him. I wonder if Doc Rivers has ever jerked off to this guy. Just a second. Oh boy. Trouble for New York City weatherman Eric Adame? Adame? I don't know. Likely to return to television after nude pics scandal. Totally nude. Fired New York One meteorologist Eric Adame will likely return to television after being canned over his leaked nudes, just not for his former employer. For those of you not familiar with New York One, it's like this New York City TV news outlet, which it's like a just round the clock news. That's just a news. It's like a CNN for New York City, and it's very much up its own ass, and thinks that people care about it. Which I think I've heard on podcasts before, like comedians making fun of the fucking reviewer from New York One who goes to who shows up at the Comedy Cellar and reviews comedians and shit. I believe I have heard him being mocked roundly by those guys. But the thing about, I don't know if this is the case in other cities, but there are local news outlets in New York City who really, really think quite highly of themselves. 1010 Wins, CBS 2, NBC 4, the New York Times. I know it's like a national paper in the New York Post. They're still just, they're New York City papers. Like there are media outlets in the city that think of themselves as institutions, that they're doing more than just local news. And the thing is, they're not, right? They just they douse the pig in perfume, because at the end of the day, they really are just local news. And they do, of course, they'll all cover national, international stories, but they're local news outlets. They're local news with a self-indulgent flair. And that's not all New York City local news. The Post is awesome. The New York Post fucking rules. Channel 7 Eyewitness News, not to be confused, of course, with lazy Eyewitness News. Pix 11, Fox 5 NY. Those channels are all kind of like, they're kind of all in on being shitty local news outlets. Like they just kind of, they lean into the hokiness, and they're very, they deliver their product without a hint of pretense. But for whatever reason, there are a few local outlets that just kind of, they live with their heads lodged firmly up their own asses. And I feel quite comfortable saying that, because I actually worked for two of them. Shout out to 1010 Wins and CBS 2. Adame has gotten at least one job offer since revealing Monday that he was booted from the Spectrum News channel after someone on an adult webcam site sent his naked pictures to his boss. His rep, Howard Bragman, told Deadline Tuesday evening. I have to say the public response has been overwhelmingly supportive for Eric. Bragman told the outlet he has received encouragement from people to apply for jobs at other stations, and at least one other station that I know of offered him a job. Adame declined that offer, the rep noted. Of course, it's been supported. It's 2022. Half the fucking country has an OnlyFans. Like, local... These news outlets, like that, like I said, they have their heads up their asses. They think they're these media institutions. So they still think this kind of thing is a scandal, because in a lot of ways they're afraid of the internet, because the internet is eventually what is going to be their undoing. Like, people aren't going to fucking give a shit what 1010wins.com has to say. If they can find out what like actually happened in their neighborhood, on their buddy's fucking Instagram page, or just fucking walk outside and like talk to a neighbor or text someone, like they hate this kind of shit. Like the idea of people going out and creating their own content as a rule scares the shit out of these people. This just exposes their stupidity, because New York One operates in literally one of the gayest cities on the planet. Like, New York is the epicenter of lib cuck America. Like, having a gay sex worker on your team doing the weather is actually a huge bonus in New York City. Like, people will tune in for that. That's a selling point. It's interesting. It's fucking, even if you're not in the market for gay jack-off videos, it's still sort of an interesting, compelling thing. Like watching the fucking Luca Magnotta documentary. It doesn't get much more New York then greeting people in the morning with the day's expected highs, lows, and precipitation, and then going back to your Brooklyn brownstone and jacking off for other dudes in front of your webcam. Like that's the Big Apple, baby. In 2022, that is fucking New York. The former weatherman hoped to get his dream job at New York One back, Bragman told the Post Tuesday afternoon. Adame had reported the weather on the local news channel for the past 15 years and loved his job. Hours later, Bragman told Deadline that reunion seemed unlikely. Our people have talked to their people. I would characterize them as very cordial conversations. However, ultimately, I don't think he's necessarily going to be invited back to that party. A source with Spectrum News told the Post the situation is more complicated than it appears, noting the company worked with Adame for months on this issue before he was fired. What do you mean they worked with him for months? Like, did they have look, man, just wear, bro, just wear a mask. Like, fuck, take down the big New York One poster that you have in the background. Like, the Emmy-nominated meteorologist shared the news of his termination in an Instagram post Monday and admitted to his decade-long secret appearances on an adult webcam site. But he's been doing it for a decade. They've known about it for months. There's no indication that it's impacted like ratings or job performance. I don't understand that there had been any kind of like public uproar over this. And in a day and age when everyone in the industry wants to be woke, I don't know if there's anything woker than having a gay cam boy and keeping him on your staff, despite the fact that someone sent him these pictures trying to target his career. He said he was fired after naked pictures taken from videos he recorded on a webcam site for men were sent to his employer and his mom. Adame is seeking a court order to force the site to reveal the identity of the person, noting he intends to sue them but needs their real identity to do so. There was no extortion. It was classic revenge porn, his rep said. The weatherman said he is seeking professional help for his compulsive behavior. I mean, if he's just moonlighting on this site to make a couple bucks, I don't see how that's compulsive behavior, right? Like, it's compulsive behavior if you're watching so much porn that it interferes with your life. If you're making and profiting off of porn, like, that's not compulsion. That's capitalism, right? And after all, we are not communists. I don't see the problem with him profiting off his own. I'm sure he signed, when he signs his contract, it has something about like not doing things to publicly embarrass the company or whatever. But I think he's going to be fine. His post received thousands of likes. He's got an outpouring of support from commenters, including notable New Yorkers like former gubernatorial candidate and actress Cynthia Nixon. Yeah, see, he's gonna make a lot of very influential friends. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna get like an influencer deal. He'll wind up doing like a daily weather live stream. He'll go back to jacking off online. Like, it's all gonna be gravy for this guy. I support it. I would absolutely jerk off online for money. Like, if I understood how to grow and cultivate an OnlyFans following, I would happily tug my fucking prick on camera for a couple bucks. Like, look, I got a nice body. I got a reasonably nice rod. I assume there would be a market for a guy like me tugging it online. But I also feel like you only want to do that if like the juice is worth the squeeze. And I feel like to be truly successful on OnlyFans, you really have to like cultivate and grow the audience like a garden, right? You can't just jack it, throw the video up and be done with it. Like, I feel like you really have to get out there and promote. Like, I see these people promoting their OnlyFans all over social media. So I don't know. Maybe someday. Maybe. If the price was right, I'd certainly give it a thought. Maybe the way to cultivate and grow my garden, maybe I can make like a thing where I did like piss videos where I went and urinated in people's gardens and I cultivated my garden by pissing in by helping people cultivate their gardens. Anyway, speaking of growing a garden, let me get this guy out of here because we've got a big set of tits coming to the screen. There they are. Yeah. So again, I apologize for yet another pre-record. This is just the way it be right now. We will get back to live shows, hopefully sooner than later. But for now, enjoy these big tits. Tell your friends. Send the link around. Give it a like. Give it a share. Follow me Instagram at Gary_Moyler, Moyler, Twitter at Mike Montone, Facebook.com/The Savage Crew, YouTube. Obviously, this is Sacktap Live, and of course, the Savage Sacktap is the audio version of this show. You find that wherever podcasts are downloaded, and I will catch you guys next time. Adios, motherfuckers.